This month in Outer Banks history, famed poet Robert Frost was inspired to write his poem Kitty Hawk. Robert Frost was a famed American poet and Pulitzer Prize winner, perhaps best known for his poem The Road Not Taken. Frost spent most of his life in New England, but in 1894, when he was 20 years old, he made an impromptu visit to the Outer Banks after his high school sweetheart, Eleanor, rejected his marriage proposal. In a state of suicidal depression and not knowing what else to do, Frost took a train to Norfolk, Virginia and hiked over 10 miles south to enter the Great Dismal Swamp. He walked through the night, hoping to end his suffering either by drowning or being attacked by a wild animal, until he came upon a boat docked in the canal. The boat was bound for Elizabeth City, where it was to pick up a group of duck hunters and continue on to Nags Head. Frost purchased passage on the boat with his last remaining dollar. Frost accompanied the hunting party during their stay at the Nags Head Hotel, one of the Outer Banks' earliest hotels located on the Nags Head Sound side. The night he arrived, Frost decided to take a walk on the beach. Eventually, he met a surfman with the United States Life-Saving Service out on beach patrol and walked along conversing with him for a while. The surfman told him several anecdotes of the history of the Outer Banks, including the famed disappearance of Theodosia Burr. After staying several days in Nags Head, Frost eventually returned home and married Eleanor. Many years later, in June 1953, he traveled to North Carolina to receive an honorary doctorate from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. On his return trip, Frost stopped to visit his close friend Huntington Cairns at his home in Kitty Hawk. Cairns was an author as well as the secretary, treasurer, and general counsel of the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., which is how he became acquainted with Frost. Frost's second visit to the Outer Banks brought back vivid memories of his 1894 trip and inspired him to write his poem Kitty Hawk. The poem pays homage to the Wright brothers and the dawn of aviation, drawing a comparison to Frost's own emotional experience on the Outer Banks in 1894. He also drew heavily on the historical tales told to him by the surfmen he met in passing on the beach. Frost wrote 3 versions of Kitty Hawk over the course of 8 years. He dedicated the poem to his friend Huntington Cairns. He considered it to be the most important of his later poems, and it is frequently studied by scholars today. For more information about Robert Frost's visit or any other topic in Eastern North Carolina history, come visit us at the Outer Banks History Center. We're located at Roanoke Island Festival Park across from the downtown Mania waterfront.